loves, welcome to a brand new video. Finally, I finally can swallow without feeling like there are razor blades in my throat. My allergies and asthma, it was pretty bad. One day it was like -3. Yesterday it was in the 60s. So it's just been kind of crazy. But I'm feeling better enough, to do some videos. And today I wanted to start off with Jeffree Star versus his fans, because he's still going off a lot. And in particular, to Porcelain. And I want to talk about her and Jeffree's brush collection with Morphe, all that kind of stuff, because I haven't gotten a chance to share my thoughts on it since I haven't uploaded in a bit. And I did just do a Slay and Shade, so there are new videos this week. Yay. I want to preface this by saying that I am not a fan of Porcelain's. I don't particularly care for her content or for her. I don't hate her. I only hate Jamie Josta from the band Hatebreed. I've never spoken to her or anything. She just kind of rubs me the wrong way in videos. She comes off very entitled. I do have a Slay and Shade on her. And apparently she must have found out about that because she did block me on Twitter. And that's the only thing I can think of because I've never said anything to her. Which is kind of weird because she has talked about people like blocking people for like no reason, but I was like pretty critical of her, so I get it. So this all started when Jeffree Star posted on Twitter that Bad Baby was on her way to his house and he was going to review her copycat makeup. Porcelain decided to tweet at him and say, "Don't bother, I tried it, it's not good." So Jeffree took that as, just because you reviewed it, I can't, stop assuming, because it's a copycat makeup brand that he doesn't like those kind of brands. And, he said, "Stop assuming as always." Now, there's a history between the two of these. The only reason why I even know who Porcelain is because of Jeffree Star. The way back when, it's not the first time that he has been mean to her. And he wasn't like super mean. He was just like, just because you reviewed it, I can't. Like, I'm reviewing things because people have requested it, Now, when I first did this video, this was prior to her putting out her video, prior to him putting out his review, and prior to the Morphe collab reveal. So I'm glad that video ended up not working so that I could talk about everything. That's why I like to wait when like some things happen so that I can talk about everything at once. So obviously, Porcelain got upset. She was not online at the time, but people sent her screenshots of what Jeffree said to her. She said that she was, like disappointed. She was kind of hurt. But in her video, she talks a lot about how she gives people the benefit of the doubt, like, "Oh, I know people could have like a bad day." But he obviously knows who she is because this is not the first interaction they have had or bad interaction. And he obviously does not like her, but it's like she keeps coming back for more, Like she knows that he does not like her for whatever reason, way back when she said something about his products, whatever it was. But she will still review all of his stuff and tweet at him or hashtag him, whatever it is. I find that she does that for attention. That's just my opinion. If you're a fan of hers, I apologize. This is just my opinion from what I see of her. So in her video, she said that there are only 4 channels, and she's one of them, that consistently review Jeffree Star products, and she only trusts one of them, other than herself. She doesn't feel like the other people are going to be honest about the products, so she's going to continue to review them because she's going to be really honest now. So was she not honest before this? So what does that mean? So I found it a little bragging, a little kind of cocky on her end to be like, "Oh, well, I am so honest and I have to do this. I have to review these things for you because I don't trust the other people." Come on. Another thing is she did make a lot of excuses for Jeffree. And listen, I was on the receiving end of Jeffree's bullshit. He blocked me before I even really had a chance to say anything in defense of myself. I sort of Like, I know that I worded my tweet like weird when he called me delusional. But I think that as a fan of his for a long time, I don't even know if I'd call it a fan. Like, I like his products. Sometimes I like him. Sometimes I find him funny. But I feel like, I have been witnessing more of him doing this to people. Like, people that were sticking up for porcelain, he was blocking. He's just been very aggressive, very defensive. And I'm thinking, like, what is going on? Like, this is new behavior, but it's really not. Like, he's always come for people like that. And porcelain is like a diehard fan of his. And he said, I'm not questioning like her loyalty to my brand. It's just that she keeps tweeting at me, which he said 5 tweets. I think there are just a few. But the thing is that I felt like maybe I wasn't seeing all of these bad interactions because I wasn't looking for them, because I liked him. Maybe, subconsciously I'm just like looking for things. I'm just seeing what I want to see, or making excuses for someone because I like their products. And that's changed a lot for me. And it didn't change whenever he called me delusional. It changed when he went after Beauty True Sleuth. And it changed when he kept going and after Nick. And that's when it was just, what the fuck is going on here? Now we know why he was so defensive with that particular thing towards me. But I just feel like I'm just so tired of seeing this successful young man be such a piece of shit to people. I'm not saying that he's some racist piece of shit. I'm just saying, like, his attitude sucks. Like, can you just listen, absorb, have a conversation, like, think before you tweet? You know what I mean? And it's disappointing because I feel like some people can separate the person from a brand, and I do love his cosmetics. And like Porcelain said, his cosmetics fit her aesthetic, whatever that is. But there are plenty of brands that cater to people like myself, like that are into death metal, that dress in dark clothes most of the time, or have black hair and like, colors and things like that. There are plenty of other brands. So I don't know, I just don't think that I can just defend all of this bullshit from him anymore. I'm just sick of it, And it sucks because when he is cool, he's so funny, and, he acts like he's not about the money and all that stuff, and we're going to get to that. Another thing with Porcelain is that when did she become a makeup artist? This is like a weird thing for me. I don't know if it is for you guys, but it's like their Twitter handles like Porcelain MUA, Raw Beauty Christy MUA, or Manny MUA. Like, doesn't that take away from actual makeup artists that went to school, that put the time in, the work in, that, got themselves from the ground up and they work their butts off to do makeup and do it well and to work as a makeup artist? Like, it kind of bugs me. I'd rather have them just be like, I'm a makeup lover, because it just is weird to me. And I feel like that title just doesn't belong to Porcelain. So I do feel like, she is still going to tweet at him at some point. She said, now my face and my name are in drama videos and I'm not used to that and this is so crazy. No, I feel like she loves that attention. I feel like she just loves it. Like, I wouldn't even know who she was if it weren't for the first time this happened. And I think a lot of people that I talked to anyway, were like, yeah, I didn't know about her until Jeffree, dragged her the very first time. So I highly doubt that she's like, oh, I like to stay out of the drama. I don't want to be a part of it. I think she's living for it. Now, I could very well be wrong. It's just the way that she comes off. And, who are you to tell Jeffree, like, don't even bother reviewing something? And then she says, I didn't tell him not to review it, but like, she kind of did, Still, she didn't deserve, the attitude from Jeffree, but, he does not like her. And I think that it wasn't just him having a bad day or whatever. I think he was just like, I'm tired of this chick and I'm going to say some shit again. So I feel bad that she was on the receiving end of that because she's such a huge fan. At the same time, I think that she really likes the attention. I just really do. So after that, Jeffree Star puts out his Bad Baby like makeup review, and people were sort of like wondering why he was going to review it, because he doesn't like brands that steal concepts. But he said in this case, these are brands being upfront, like we are copycat. We are copying these brands for people that cannot afford it, and whether you like that or not, like that's totally up to you. I found the video really irritating. I would not spend money on on Bad Baby makeup, but that's just me. A lot of her fans are like 15 or something. They don't have their own money, or, you know, they're working at like a minimum wage job. You know, they can afford that stuff. That's cool. The interesting thing to me was that she didn't seem to know what makeup was. Like, oh, this is highlighter. Wait, no, is this bronzer? Or this is that thing. You know, she just like didn't even know. And in like her video talking about it, like she still didn't know, you know, like about makeup, which is just so weird. But she got paid $900,000 to be the face of this. So good for her, you know. So his review, I think, was like fair. It was like, you know, these aren't exact dupes, but they're close, but they don't perform as well if you don't have the money, whatever. So after that, I saw his Morphe collaboration reveal video. Now, we all know that this brush set was set to be launched like a few years ago. I think like 3 years ago. There's a lot of speculation to why it was like put on hold. It was because Jacqueline was working with them and she didn't want him to do a collab too. Whatever it was, the brushes are finally out. Now, judging by the comments on Jeffree's Twitter, not a lot of people know anything about Morphe. So a lot of his audience, and I highly suggest if you like a YouTuber to follow their Twitter, to look into brands that they work with, and because their true colors kind of come out on Twitter, even though they tweet and delete really quickly. Sometimes you're following this person on YouTube that really isn't how they are, you know? So the brushes, they look like, I mean, they're pink, they're pretty. I'm not interested in them despite my feelings about Jeffree Star. I would rather spend 99 cents on Wet n Wild brushes at Walgreens. I don't like the quality of Morphe brushes. It'll be very interesting to see people review these, and I wonder if Porcelain's going to review them. I know she has a cruelty-free channel, and these brushes are using real animal hair. That has a lot of people concerned. Some people were talking about having allergies to real animal hair brushes, that their skin just like gets irritated, you know. Some people were very disappointed because Jeffree Star's brand is accessible, like it's pretty affordable, and it's vegan and cruelty-free. And does this mean that he may end up adding products into his own line that are not going to be vegan? So there are a lot of questions about that. And I found it interesting that not a lot of people knew about Morphe. Like on the thread on Twitter when he posted, hey, this is my video, like with the Morphe, you know, collaboration, blah, blah, blah. People are like, what's so bad about Morphe? Well, Morphe is a shady company. I'm going to link 2, maybe 3 videos from Beauty Truth Sleuth, so that you can get like the full picture. But even if you don't care about how brand owners act or operate within their companies, this just doesn't seem worth the money, you know? The quality, I don't think is going to be that great. I just don't, I'm just personally not interested in it. Plus, I have enough brushes. I do highly recommend BH Cosmetics brushes, which are affordable and really, really good quality as opposed to Morphe. So now we know when everything was going on with Jeffree calling me delusional and going after Beauty Truth Sleuth, or T by Allie or whatever. I'm sorry, she changed her name. I'm so sorry. I'm just so used to calling her that. But when that whole thing was going on, the topic was Morphe. And Jeffree was always very defensive when his name was attached to Morphe. He's always been very like, I am not bought for, nobody can pay me to like give good reviews or whatever. There's a lot of speculation that he may be a silent partner with Morphe. I don't know if there's any truth to that at all. He's definitely not one of the listed shareholders in the company, but who knows? And, you know, whatever. But now we know why he would be so defensive, because People do not like Morphe as a brand. People don't like their quality. People are sick and tired of beauty influencers shilling them out in every video, especially with Jaclyn Hill. And so I think that that's why he was getting so defensive, obviously. And then he says he's not all about the money, but if you care about the quality of your products, you care about your consumers, a lot of which like your company because it's vegan and cruelty-free, then you wouldn't do this. And this is going to be a huge payday for him and for Morphe. It's going to blow up. So I'm not so sure that when he says, I don't care about the money, that's being completely honest, because all we really see from him, aside from reviewing makeup, is just talking about all of his designer, like, material things, you know, which is great, but people that don't care about money don't really need to, like, flex, you know what I mean? So I think this is what happens when you take a person like Jeffree Star, that has shared some of his past with us, like with Shane Dawson, about how he was a cutter. I was too, bullied, you know, things like that. He was unique and different. And I think it's great that he is this success, you know, but when you take somebody that has had those insecurities and that is like aggressive and defensive and sort of just always expecting like the worst from people, and you make them a multi-millionaire, it's like, oh, look what I can get. Like, or now I can treat people how they treated me. I just kind of get that vibe from him. And listen, I was a huge fan. I'm just saying, like, I just wonder, I'm always sort of like trying to wonder why people are the way that they are. And that's why I let a lot of shit slide in life, with friends, in relationships, people that I like, you know. And I feel like he still has all of these insecurities. The thing that bothers me is Jeffree is coming for his consumers, for his fans. And it's like, you know, somebody may have something negative to say. Like, you trash brands when you don't like them. So if somebody doesn't like a product of yours, you don't have to go crazy. You know, if somebody is, you know, speculating or concerned about an honest review, you can reassure them without calling them delusional. Or you can tell them, you know, just wait for the video instead of assuming. There are ways to be a decent person, you know, and maybe it's his whole like, oh, I can shock everybody with the things that I say because he had that whole thing calculated, right? Like, that whole drama was just on purpose, right? I don't know if I agree with that or not. I think it was an excuse to be like, yeah, I totally like flipped out for no reason, and oh, haha, I got all you sheep talking. Like, to call all of us sheep on top of everything else that he has done, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? And I don't hate him. I don't understand him. I don't, you know, there are ways to be like shocking and edgy and not be a complete asshole, you know. Do it in your makeup looks, you know, do it with music, with something other than treating your fans like shit. And I'm really disappointed, not just the fact that he went with Morphe, you know, to do this collaboration. I know it's going to be a huge success. I will definitely be watching reviews, but as much as I like him, I wouldn't have gotten this set, I don't think, at all, even if it wasn't with Morphe, because it just isn't something new. It doesn't really appeal to me. The look of it doesn't really appeal to me. And I love pink. It's just, and it's the animal hair. That is disappointing. As somebody that's vegan, I do try to be cruelty-free as much as I can. That's a whole thing. I have psoriasis, I have some other skin issues, some things I have to use that are not cruelty-free. But as a person that's like vegan and stuff, I feel like, like, I'm not sure. There were some people that were questioning, you know, if this would affect his own brand. I don't know, and I'm not assuming. I'm just saying that they all had really valid questions. And if you guys want to know more about Morphe as a company, because you don't, you know the ins and outs, I'm going to link some videos. I do have a Morphe brushes slay and shade as well, but I think that this deep dive into the company from Beauty True Sleuth was really a great video. So I'm going to link those. And, you know, I'm sorry about, I don't know that I'm sorry about the way that I feel about porcelain, because you kind of can't be sorry for like the way that you feel. I just there's just something about her. I find her to be entitled. I find her to be a little pretentious. And like I said, I don't agree with how Jeffree spoke to her, but I think that she does like the drama, unlike what she said in her video. So you guys are going to have to let me know how you feel about her, the drama, Jeffree, the brushes. Are you going to buy them? Listen, this isn't a channel where I hate you if you support Jeffree, because I don't not support him. I'm in the middle, you know, I'm more towards not supporting him because I just don't understand why he has to be this way, you know? So, but let me know if you're gonna get it. If you get the brushes and you do a review, send it to me. I have a thread on Twitter if you would like to follow me on there and link me your channel. I do have 2 All Slay No Shades coming up this week. Yes, I promise. My schedule is different at work, so no more overnights. So I'll have plenty of like time to not sneak in naps and do more videos. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me babble on. If you happen to be fat like I am and you want to follow my second channel, it's That Fat Vegan. I'll link that below. Subscribe if you want to. You know, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love and hugs. Bye.